Albert?
Albert, as you could see, was out there watching practice today and had a little work afterwards with walkthroughs and some agility drills. But his knee's still bothering him, and when he's ready to try to take that test again, he'll take it.
Mike, I know you said obviously your doctors yesterday giving him treatments and all that. Is there a point where you'd have does he need an MRI on that knee or anything like that? Is it to that point?
No, it's not.
Mike made a quarterback shake-up yesterday. Just explain the thinking that went into letting Cole go and bringing in John Beck.
Yeah, we've been interested in John, for a while, and there was an opportunity to get John, a trade when they lost Dominic Foxworth at Baltimore, and they were interested in Dutch, and, so we made the trade.
What did you like
about John?
I just liked him back in college, the system that he ran. I thought very similar to the system that we run. I just liked the way he threw the football, the way he handled himself, and now I get a chance to see him firsthand.
Mike, it's like 16 games. I think that you've won in the last 6 years. The coaches are almost becoming inevitable in the NFL. You got to make a backup. You're going to have to take some snaps or something.
We've been talking about this, since the first day I came. We're going to try to, get as much competition as we possibly can at all positions. And if we feel like we got a chance to upgrade at a position, we will. There's still a lot of competition there at the quarterback position, as we know. Richard Bartell has done a good job, and so has Rex. So John will come in and compete.
Mike, did you think overall the quarterbacks, all of them, had a good practice today, or it looked like they struggled at times in each one of them?
Yeah, usually it's this time of year when you're installing your offense and installing your defense that there's a bunch of lulls, and you just got to push through it. And that's what we're doing today. Anytime you're in your 5th day and you have pads on and you're doing a lot of different things that normally you haven't done in the past, just because there's a lot of installation. Sometimes that goes hand in hand. Some missed assignments. It only takes one guy being a little bit off. And our defense has been playing pretty good too, so that's a plus.
How much more installing do you have for the offense?
We got another couple days. Oh no, this is a competition. If you're part of our 80-man squad, we feel like eventually you got a chance to be number one, depending on how good you are and how you come in and prove yourself. So there's a lot of competition. We also know that there's a lot of players that are proven, and to beat out a proven player doesn't happen very often. But these people will evaluate as time goes on, and like we've been saying from the first day, we got a lot of competition out there. We really don't care what you've done in the past. We want to see how you do out there in the practice field and how you play in these preseason games, and then we have a chance to come up with our best squad.
Bill Daniels and Vonnie Holiday stepped in with the ones today. It looked like Barnes was getting more reps than Armstrong. How much do we read into that? Was there a change in the depth chart, or is it just kind of trying new guys out?
Well, a lot of times we'll take guys with the second unit that's on the second unit just so they can go against the first team. So we see how they compare to some of the other players. So first and second and third team sometimes will rotate, so we get to see them against different players, give them a chance to compete against guys that maybe the first or second team was going against. So that's an ongoing process, so you can't read too much into it. But what you can read into it is guys are competing and we're getting a chance to evaluate them.
Mike, what have you thought of Carricker so far?
He's done a great job. He's going to help our defensive line. Very strong, very stout, very consistent. Very pleased with him.
Roydo Williams out of the league last year.
Pardon me?
Roydo Williams was out of the league last year. What did you guys see on film that think he might be able to help?
Well, he liked the way he played before he got hurt. He's been injured, throughout his career, and that's really kept him from staying with the team, including this team. But you take a look at what he did at Tennessee, how he played, the number of yards. You can see he has the talent. The question is, will he be ready on game day?
Like Willie Bell, NFL is putting its emphasis on head injuries this year. Any special steps your team's taking during training camp, re-emphasizing the new helmet?
Well, we do have new technology there, and they have their option to wear a number of different helmets, and they test them out and get a feel. But there is a lot of emphasis there with concussions relative to the doctors, and a lot of research, but and we leave that up to the doctors.
Mike, is this pretty much an exact copy of the way you ran camps before?
It's a little bit different because we've never had 80 players before. Normally we've had 90. with the different league we had out there, you couldn't get anywhere from 8 to 10 players, and I think most teams got in that area. So a big difference with 88, 90 players compared to 80 players going 2-day practices.
Is Malky close to returning?
You know, he's not. He's not. I shouldn't say. I don't think it'll be in the next couple of days. You know, still a little bit tight, still a little bit sore. You know, the trainers have been pushing him a little bit, and you can see that he's a little ways away from going full speed. So.
Hey, Coach, Quint looked like he got wrestled down pretty good towards the end of practice. Is he doing okay?
I think he's doing okay. Yeah, a lot of guys get wrestled down. You know, we're going full wrap up, and when you do full wrap up, there's, especially against with some of these guys, some of these safeties and outside linebackers, there's some good contact, but you need that in training camp. And
Did Malcolm have a setback, or is it just not coming around the way you guys envisioned?
well, I don't know. I mean, with hamstrings, you never know. So when you ask me, you know, how somebody's groin, how somebody's knee, we really don't know. We can trainers can guess, but until they actually work them out and kind of press them a little bit, you don't know for sure.
Coach, there's a report out that Brett Favre has decided to hang it up for good. Your thoughts on his career?
Oh God, I was with him in, I think his third year when he went to his first Pro Bowl, and you know, you just saw how much talent he had. And I want to give it up though. I got to see it before I believe it.
You gonna try to
Rumors do circulate. Rumors do circulate.
Mike, what have you seen so far from Favre? What do you like about him?
Carlos is very talented. He worked extremely hard in the offseason to pick up our defense, both at the cornerback position and inside position in our nickel defense. He's very strong. He's very physical. He can match up really against anybody. So very impressed with the way he's handled himself and how hard he's worked, and I'll be surprised if he doesn't have a great season.
What have you seen, though, I think that kind of makes him a guy you can move around a lot? Whether it happens, he's going to have to safety some, he's going to blitz a lot. What is he showing that makes him that valuable?
Have you been in our meetings or something? How do you know all this stuff? God, giving our game plan away. Well, first of all, the guy's got to be able to run, and you got to have size, and he has that ability to be able to press, be able to play off. He's very smart. He's very physical, so he can blitz and do the things that we ask some of our inside guys to do with our sub packages. So he brings a lot of talent, and he brings a lot of diversity in what we're trying to do, and I think he'll do a great job.
Like Willie Parker, it seemed like he got off to a slow start this camp. The last 2 days has been really good. I know Bobby Turner was very happy with what he's seen. Just your thoughts on what you've seen out of Willie?
Yeah, very impressed with Willie. Not only how he practices, but how he handles himself. Like I said, we've got 5 guys that can play. We've got 5 guys that will compete for playing time, and I'm looking forward to seeing as camp goes on who really comes to the forefront.
how'd your alignment fare in the one-on-one drills back then?
Oh, like all one-on-one drills, some good, some bad. Evaluation process, but it's good to get started in the one-on-one. We did a little 7-on-7 today, and they got a lot of reps, so hopefully we got a little bit better.
Is there a lot of value in one-on-ones
Is there value?
for you?
Oh yeah, we wouldn't do it if we didn't think there was value. You get a chance to match people up. It's not always a realistic situation, but we put guys in awkward situations where it's you against that person, and just see how guys compete and how guys fare against some of our different players. But it's the same thing with wide receivers versus DBs. It's nice to see what type of skills people do have and how they compete, and that was our first day for that. So it was good.
Going forward, will you do that a little bit more, or is it still going to be kind of on a semi-regular basis?
That all depends on how we feel. What you do is, today we went 7-on-7, and before we were going to team pass, and you see, a lot of situations with one-on-one and picking up different stunts. So we'll probably go a couple days with some good one-on-one, some good 7-on-7, so the quarterbacks can work on some of their footwork as well, and we still get something out of the one-on-one pass pro.
Mike, are any of those receivers standing out to you, like anybody that made an impression below Santana in that group that's kind of below that?
It's day by day. We want to see consistency, so you might have one good day, one bad day, but we're going to evaluate as time goes on. But I want to mention one guy over another at this time. No.
Is the offense about where you think it would be at this point in camp? Are they ahead of the curve, or what's your overall sense?
Installation, it's an ongoing process. You're trying to get everything in, and as you get kind of cut things down for a game plan. You can evaluate guys a little bit better relative to the smarts and how they handle situations. But like I said, it's part of the process, and that's what we're going through now.
Coach, most of your holdover defensive ends have converted to linebacker. Jeremy Jarman is staying at defensive end for now. What about his skills and talents better suit him for there?
Well, Jeremy Jarman, the reason why he is staying at the defensive end position, we thought we needed more depth there. I mean, he went up to 295 pounds, so he gained a few pounds, and he's been playing well, especially not playing that position for a little bit. So it's part of the evaluation process. It's nice to get him back. He's healthy. I think it's always different when you've been out for a while to put pads on and actually get started, but it's been very positive, and I think it'll just keep on getting better.
Like you said, not to read too much into Bonnie and Phil going with the first team. It's just designed to go against first-team offense. By the same token, did they do anything today that maybe caught your eye, so to speak, to give them more reps with the first team, or will things stay status quo?
What we're going to do in a game is we'll switch a lot of different people up during the game, so a lot of people will play. But the reason why some of those guys that were on the second unit are playing against the first unit, we want to see those guys against Trent Williams and Jamal Brown. We don't always want them to see them against Will Robinson or whoever our right tackle might be, at that time. Is it Stefan? Is it Clint? So we try to switch guys up so we can evaluate these players against all the different players on our team. And that's what I was trying to say before. That's sometimes why we switch those things up. Make sense? Why our second and third wide receivers sometimes will go against our first DBs. Our first wide receivers aren't always going to go against our number one DBs for obvious reasons. So it's part of the evaluation process.